When you got married to Marlon, did he tell you about his condition?
So I wasn't very sure about the future. I didn't really understand how much of time we would have together. But I really loved him, and he cared a lot for me as well. And from our time together, we seemed so well matched. So I was happy to take the leap without really understanding much about what the future would hold for us.
And then up popped the site for, it was a dating website. And I said, no, maybe I'd just try to meet a friend or two and see how things go.
You generate a profile, and then you generate your ideal match, and then it pairs you up against people.
And I just put in what I was looking for in a partner, and Veronica's name popped up. She was called Miss Sunshine at the time.
Oh my gosh, he told you!
He told me. He told me you were Miss Sunshine, but you look like Miss Sunshine.
And I just started chatting to her.
I mean, I didn't want to meet someone at a bar or something like that. That was not my type of scene.
And then when we finally decided to meet, and one thing led to another. It was a short period of dating, and then we got married.
That's an amazing story, you know.
Yeah, it is.
From the onset, she was aware of everything, and she accepted me for who I was. Pink candle. Yes, good.
You were 26 years old when you discovered you had a problem.
It started about 2 years before, I think. I started to get ill at work, and there was frequent visitations to the doctors. And then I started to notice that I was feeling tired all the time, and even a little bit of exertion would cause that tiredness and that fatigue. And then I knew something was wrong, but I just put it down to being unfit. So I started going to the gym, and that didn't work, and that didn't help either. And then just before I was diagnosed, I passed out in the lounge. When that happened, then I had to go and see my doctor and the cardiologist at the time that was in my area. And he sent me for all the tests. And then they found out that, I had this disease. The disease is called pulmonary hypertension. So basically what happens is that the blood that is going into the lungs is not being oxygenated fully because the capillaries in the lungs are not functioning. They've actually become too thick to hold that oxygen, that blood flow. And what happens is that the blood would flow back into the heart and cause the heart to enlarge. And then over time, the heart muscle starts to deteriorate because of the excessive pressure that's on the heart. And that causes a lot of issues with your breathing, a lot of issues with just doing daily activities as well. It becomes very difficult. I mean, I was 26 years old. My life was ahead of me. And then you hear this diagnosis, and then you read up on the internet. It's the worst thing to do. Mm-hmm. Basically, the condition, they give you a prognosis of 3 years without medication.
Can you describe your love for Marlon?
Never been asked something like that before. I would say it's deep and abiding, with all the time that we spent together and all of the different trials that we've been through. We've grown incredibly close. So it's almost a case of we feel like we're the same person when we experience things, when we speak about our experiences or how we're going to face difficulties. We always have the same mind.
And then you had your wonderful, wonderful son.
Yes, he did.
He has no knowledge of his father's illness.
I would say that he understands that his dad is sick.
Yes.
Because a lot of the things that he does, like he has a little watch that he puts across his face and he says that's his oxygen. And whenever we go anywhere, he thinks we're going to the hospital or to the doctor. So it has impacted his life in a small way, but he doesn't fully grasp just how sick his dad is.
The reality is that this is what we are faced with. But with the reality also comes an awakening, and I've experienced it personally in my own life, where God has done miracles for me. And I find that of tremendous strength to me. And that support I lend to my children. I've motivated them, and I've always been there for them. And for Marlon as well. Marlon has full support, and I try and strengthen his faith more than anything else. I'm around him saying, don't let this stop you from doing it. We live a normal life. We've got this grandchild here.
Wel, as die vraag is hoe lank gaan hy nog lewe, dis is onmoontlik om te antwoord. Want niemand weet hoe lank mense gaan lewe nie. Maar die een goeie ding is, hy is nie verskriklik vinnig besig om agteruit te gaan nie. Maar hy gaan steady agteruit. Elke maand as ons hom sien, is hy nie so goed soos wat hy was nie. En sy toelatings vir intraveneuse medikasie word al meer frequent en die tussenposes word korter en die verblyf word langer. Dis alles slegte tekens.
How are you?
Okay.
Great. Please.
So I've been on that medication for quite a while now, almost a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your sugars have been well controlled.
Yes, just to be honest, they're still looking really good.
If you have to close your eyes and die, if I may ask that, would you? What are you? You're not afraid of that?
I'm not afraid of death because I have that hope that I'd see God in heaven.
But you've got this wonderful family, so obviously
I will miss them. That's always at the back of my mind.
Yeah, it's difficult to be positive with when you think you're going to die every day. you know, you're waiting for death to come and take you home. And I see now that he's starting to struggle. He's losing weight. He's retaining water. Yeah, he's really starting to battle, and it just quite emotional for me because that takes me right back to where I've been. They put me on the list when I was 28.
28.
Yeah.
Why not before?
You've got to be sick enough to go on the list.
Okay.
You know, if you've got to lose a certain quality of life, you know, you can't just go on the list because you're sick.
Yeah.
You've got to really lose quality of life. You've got to stop working. You've got to, you know, I was in bed all day.
Marlon is one of the patients on the priority list at the moment.
What is his prognosis at this moment?
That's so hard to say because he's coped so well for so long. He's had a bad year in 2018, so he's been on the priority list consecutively for 162 days currently. We post our urgent patients onto a WhatsApp page, and then weekly a summary is put out so that the procurement coordinators around the country, if they have a donor, they will offer that organ to the most suitable patient on that priority list first.
Jy weet, ons kan dit nie met Marlon doen nie. Net longe insit nie, want soos wat ek vir jou verduidelik.
Ja.
Sy hart het klaar verby die point of no return.
Ja.
Nee, die probleem, die druk in sy longe is so hoog dat die hart kan nie daardeur die bloed daardeur pomp nie. Jy kan vir hom nog 2 longe gee en nie 'n hart nie. As sy hart nie al versaak het, maar sy hart is verskriklik sy hart sal nie herstel na die operasie nie. Baie mense met pulmonale hipertensie kan net 2 longe kry en hulle doen baie goed, maar dan moet die hart nog weer kan herstel. Die moeilike ding is om vir hierdie mense 'n skenker te kry. En ongelukkig, soos wat jy nou weet, in hierdie land is orgaanskenking is maar die vergete neefie van medisyne. Jy weet, mense wil nie organe skenk nie, mense weet nie genoeg daarvan nie. Andersins as in Spanje wat jy skenker is, tensy jy sê nee, jy wil nie een wees nie. Maar dit is alles die werk van die media en is die werk van die orgaanskenkingsverenigings. Ons dokters kan maar net sê, julle doen goeie werk as julle vir ons meer skenkers kan kry.
So my prayer is, Lord, I want you to give him strength, number one, so that he can function as a father, as a husband, and continue his normal life, which he's doing. And we want you to do something for that, you know, to get him a pair of lungs and a heart, right? Now, that's I can ask. The Bible says that we can ask God for anything. As children, according to his will, it will be done.
So they say it's 30 minutes, so they should get there at 10 to. Do you know if they've taken off yet? Delayed by 21 minutes. I'll come back to you.
Tears?
Yeah, the most tears of joy, yeah. Tears so much of emotion. I can't believe that they started the new heart and the new lungs. They're acting in his body. It's working beautifully. He's doing so well. We're so close now.
Literally 5 minutes ago, you were sitting here with quite anxiety. And then Cindy Goldie came in and she hugged you and she said it all fitted well. And how did you feel?
It's so hard to describe. It was a huge wave of relief because it's the first real update we've had of the actual operation. So to know that they've transferred the organ into his body and it's there and it works for him. They haven't started the heart yet, but that's the next step. But just to know that we've crossed this first hurdle, here that things are going well, it's going according to the way the surgeon told us that things would unfold. So we just feel this wave of positivity that everything is going to work out great.
And it's a rainy day today here. How do you feel exactly now as you're sitting there? What is going on in your mind?
I could only describe it as a sense of peace. We've had so much of peace during the course of the stay. From the moment that Cindy called us and we rushed to the hospital, there are nerves because it's a huge step. It means such a big change in our lives. But at the same time, we've had a sense of calm and a sense of peace to know that things are going to go according to the best outcome, and they're going to work out the best outcome for our family and for Marlon.
And tell me, how do you plan your new life ahead?
Really thinking of this amazing new future. You know, I've always known Marlon when he was sick. I've never known him when he was healthy. So it's going to be a completely different life for us. You know, he's going to be able to play ball with Timothy. We're going to be able to maybe go to gym together. He's never been able to do that. So all of these amazing new things that we can do as a family, we've never been able to do before. It's just so huge. I can't I wish I had words to describe how big it is, but it's beyond me.
If you have to visualize a moment in your life where you're going to meet the donor family, how would you approach it?
I would probably cry because just that outpouring of emotion, you know, have so much of gratitude and so much of thankfulness because they've done for us what we would never ever be able to do for ourselves. You know, whenever we've thought about it, it's always been such a difficult thing to grasp because you're asking a family that's mourning to think about another family that's in need. You're asking them to put someone else's needs above their own at the time of such great need. So it's such an incredible, huge gesture that I have unending gratitude for this family. For as long as I'm alive, I'll be thankful to them for giving me my husband back.
Thank you.
as jy alles doen wat jy kan doen en jy dink jy het alles reg gedoen en die pasiënt doen dan nou nie goed nie, dan is dit baie moeilik om te verwerk.
To say goodbye to Marlon Moodley touched me deeply. I realized life leads us along a strange path. Marlon was a man of substance, a noble man with inner strength. He closed his eyes and followed the path he was meant to follow.